Hello, my name is Cassandra Koulis, and I'm curious to know, do you believe in aliens? Or are you someone who thinks aliens, UFOs, and crop circles are things that only exist in science fiction? These types of questions may seem a bit out of the blue, but what if I told you that for one city in particular, these questions are just aspects of everyday life? A city where aliens and UFOs are deeply rooted into the city's history. This is the case for Roswell, New Mexico. The reason I asked you about aliens and UFOs is to help you open your mind to the things I will tell you throughout this speech, as you decide if the Roswell incident was real or if it was all just a giant hoax. Now, what exactly is a UFO? Some of you might be wondering, and as I will use this term a lot in the next few moments, I want to make sure that there's no confusion that a UFO is an unidentified flying object, and some people believe that these objects are alien spaceships. I spent a lot of time in Roswell growing up, and the city's alien history is deeply fascinating to me. Have you ever had the pleasure of visiting this quirky town? If you haven't yet had the privilege, let me explain to you what makes this place so unique. I will cover the Roswell incident of 1947, the city's culture, and how tourism helps shape this town's economy. If you've ever wanted to be immersed with others who love the extraterrestrial as much as you do, or even if you're a skeptic who just wants to see what all the fuss is about, Roswell would be the perfect place to add to your places to visit. I keep mentioning UFOs and aliens in relation to this city, and some of you might be wondering, what is she going on about? Well, in 1947, there was a rancher named W.W. Brazel who found some unknown debris in Roswell. He turned what he had found into the sheriff, and the sheriff then turned those findings over to the Roswell Army Airfield. After looking over the findings, they decided to release to the press that a flying disc was discovered, which led to this newspaper being released. The RAAF just captures flying saucer on a ranch in Roswell region, and a birth of a public frenzy began. Conspiracies started flying immediately before the military quickly proclaimed this was a mistake, and the disc was truly a weather balloon with a radar attached. But the damage was done, with a lot of people believing that this was a government cover-up for what had really happened, and then the extraterrestrial phenomenon had seeped its way into the fabric of the city. This flying saucer discovery became known as the Roswell incident of 1947 and remains the city's biggest claim to fame, so to speak. Though these things are part of what makes the city so unique, Roswell is so much more than just spaceships and potential visitors from outer space. It is home to a diverse range of people, an extremely talented artistic community, and a plethora of local businesses to support. The culture of Roswell is eclectic, as so many people fall in love with the culture and move there permanently, but there is a large Hispanic community with over 60% of the city's population identifying as Latino. Coming from someone who spent a lot of time there throughout my life, I can speak to how insanely creative the artists in Roswell are, for example. These beautiful murals lining the street, lining almost every blank space down Main Street, with new ones popping up every time I visit. And the local shops sell canvas paintings, sculptures, and other creations by these local artists, and it really shows the community spirit of helping the local community out. Roswell is also home to the Bottomless Lake State Park, the Robert H. Goddard Planetarium, and the New Mexico Military Institute. So not everything in this city revolves around aliens. There's also some amazing restaurants such as the Saucer or the Antica Coconina Mexicana to try and support. But if you're in the mood for something more familiar, you can always check out the famous spaceship-shaped McDonald's on Main Street. It's insanely cool. That brings me to my next point though. How does all of this alien tourism affect the town, and what do the townspeople feel about it? Well, I did a bit of research, as well as talked to my own grandmother, who lived there for a good portion of her life, and the general understanding I came to is that although a lot of residents find the alien-themed businesses and decor to be somewhat tacky, it makes their town unique, and it helps the economy, so it's mainly seen as harmless. albeit it is a bit annoying trying to get down Main Street during peak season. I'm sure you might be curious why a UFO crash that may or may not have happened in the 1940s is still causing this level of interest in a small New Mexico town. A big cause of this continued tourism comes from the popularity of shows like Roswell, New Mexico, a CW show, Roswell, a WB show, and the countless, they are both alien fantasies, which contributes, and then there are countless documentaries that feature the Roswell incident, and this just contributes to the town's mystique. The city is also host to the annual Roswell UFO Festival held in July on the anniversary of the crash. With this festival offering fun for both locals and visitors alike. I have given you a glimpse of the city's history and how the Roswell incident made the town so famous, how the people and the local businesses and the artistic community make this town so special, and an inside look at the locals' outlook on alien tourism, why it remains so popular, and some of the fun things to do in Roswell. But if you want to truly understand what makes this town so special, I recommend planning a visit for yourself. I appreciate your time, and I'm curious to know if you are convinced that Roswell is a truly paranormal place where the otherworldly come to visit, or is it all just a bunch of bull? Despite whatever your thoughts may be on the extraterrestrial, the citizens of Roswell's city motto is "We believe," and I'm curious to know if you believe you'll ever visit. Thank you for your time.